Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel Tomcat Stitchery. I'm Whitney and today we are talking about summer dresses. Some of these are sundresses, some of these are just more like dress. But we're going to be talking about dresses today because, and all of these are Love Notions patterns because Love Notions sale started yesterday actually, and it's a 40% off everything. That includes all patterns, their classes, and I'm pretty sure it's all patterns. It includes everything on the website, 40% off. And my code, TKStitchery10, actually gets you 45% off everything in the sale. I think there's a code that they are using for the 40% off, but if you use my code, it actually gets you 45% off. So that is technically in the ambassador code, gets you 45% off. But yeah, the TK Stitchery 10 will get you 45% off. So we're going to be going through my top 10 favorite dress patterns. Why dress patterns? Because summer is my absolute favorite time to wear dresses, and we're coming into summer months here in the Northern Hemisphere. However, a lot of these can go cold weather as well. So with the change of, a sleeve and maybe fabrication, you could easily take these into colder weather months too. But I love wearing dresses in the warmer months because, number one, you're just dressed. You don't have to, you're not pairing together a top and a pair of pants or whatever, skirt, shorts. But number two, I think airflow is just so much better when you have a dress or a skirt on as opposed to, and technically dress even better. There's just not that restriction with extra fabric between your legs and all that kind of stuff. It's my favorite time to wear dresses. In fact, my wardrobe, I wear dresses probably in the warm months 70% of the time, and in the cold months, maybe I wear dresses, 25% of the time. So I don't know why that is, but I love a good dress in the summer. I know I'm not alone, so we're going to be going through my top 10 today. All right. I'll be showing you pictures. I've made all of these up, so I'll be showing you my versions as we go through this. And a lot of these patterns are tops and dresses. Like it's Love Notions are very versatile. They offer many different iterations of a pattern, many different views. So it's really great bang for your buck, and especially if you're grabbing it when things are on the 45% off sale. Okay, let's get going. All right, so my first pick, and these are in no particular order. I literally was going through their website and I'm like, oh yes, I love that one and I love that. So it's kind of in the order that they pop up on the website. So no particular order. But number one, we have got the Tambour top, peasant top and dress. If you are a beginner sewist, this pattern is absolutely fabulous. It is so easy and so comfortable to wear. There's many different views of this. I have made the dress. Literally zero fabric is touching your body. When you have this thing on, it is the best summer dress. I made mine in a very kind of eye-catching cotton. So it's perfect for maybe a bolder print, a big print, a bold print, because something that you don't want to have a lot of seams breaking up a loud print, because it has very few seams. It does the raglan there at the neckline. All the shaping comes in through the neckline, which is shaped with elastic. You do have to put bias tape into that neckline, not hard at all. There's some sleeve options. There's some different, you can make it a top. It's just a really great pattern. And again, so comfortable to wear in the warm months. I did end up shortening mine quite a bit because you can actually put there's instructions if you wanted to put an elastic casing in the waist. So if you're someone that likes to accentuate their waist, I don't a lot of times because I'm so straight through my waist and hips. I actually prefer straighter lines on my body. But if you are someone that likes a good cinching in at the waist, there are instructions on how to cinch in that waist. Well, cinching in the waist also, creates a little bit of blouson, so it eats up some of the length. So because I didn't do that, I left it as is. I did take the hem up, I think an extra 1.5 inches from what I normally would in Love Notions patterns. So anyway, lovely pattern. And really easy. Number two, the Clearwater Summer Essentials dress. I was a tester for this pattern. Now this is their swimsuit pattern. There are so many different options in this, and technically the dress portion could be a swim dress if you wanted it to be. I wear mine though as more of a athletic dress, more of I'll wear it for walking and stuff like that, but also just for athleisure around the house, because you can make the little you can make the kind of the bikini bottoms or whatever to wear underneath it. Like if you're wearing it kind of like a tennis skirt. Or you can make the bike shorts to go underneath it. I've made bike shorts to go under, I actually have two of these. I've made bike shorts to go underneath both of mine. Love it. So it keeps any chafing from happening. Very comfortable. And there's a built-in bra. You can put the built-in bra in there, so it makes a lot less clothing that you're having to put on in those hot months. I wear mine as athleisure. It is an absolutely lovely pattern. I love the swimsuit portions of it as well, but it makes the perfect athleisure dress if that is something that you enjoy wearing in the summer months. Especially if you're going from like the gym, back home, whatever the case may be, you still kind of look a little bit more put together than maybe just wearing leggings or shorts. Number 3, the Lenox top and dress. I love this pattern because the necklines on it are so good. Now for my dress version, I went with the, I've made the square neck version, but I have made the sweetheart neck and the top. And it's really a lot easier than you would think to sew both the square neckline and that sweetheart neckline. They've got really great instructions for how to do that. I just find it very flattering, and there's not, well, there is a waist seam, I guess, on this, but it kind of gets lost in the, I don't know, the other seam line, because it's kind of got a princess seam line down, well, it does on the bodice, and then also going down into the skirt. I love the slit on it. I just find it a very flattering pattern. There's multiple sleeve options that you can do, and it makes it up very easily in a cotton spandex jersey. You could use something with more drape if you wanted to. I like keeping the structure a little bit on this one because it does have an A-line skirt, and I like how a cotton spandex holds that A-line to really accentuate the shape of the dress, but completely up to you on what you want to use. All right, number 4, the Tempo sundress. I've made this 3 times. I have made 2 of the original version, and then I've made 1 because they released a sleeve, like a little flutter sleeve that you could add to the straps last summer, I think at the beginning of last summer. And that's included. If you already own this pattern, you can go re-download it right now, and it will have that sleeve expansion on there. That wasn't an extra cost. It's just included with the pattern now. And again, if you bought it before then, it's now in your account, so you can just re-download that. But yeah, I've made 3 of them. Now, the back panel is shirred, so it's got the elastic bobbin thread, but there are also instructions for how to sew that with elastic casings instead, if shirring's not something you would particularly enjoy doing, or if it's something that makes you a little bit nervous. So there are 2 options for finishing that off. It is so comfortable to wear because of that elastic in the back. I've shirred the back of all 3 of mine, and I just find it very comfortable. It's very comfortable. In fact, my version with the sleeves, I actually need to alter a little bit. I need to put bra carriers into the sleeve. The sleeve, it's a little too long in the strap, and I do shorten the straps when I make the regular one, but I needed the straps to stay the same length in order for it to fit the sleeve properly, and it's just and then the sleeve kind of pulls it down a little bit. Anyway, I just need to put little bra carriers into the strap so that I can attach them to my bra, and then I think we'll be perfect. In fact, this is reminding me to go do that because it's hanging on my mend rack down here in the sewing room. Lovely pattern. Perfect for the summer. Number 5, the Summer Basics tank and dress. I have made this tank top a million times. Absolutely love it. This pattern also includes a built-in bra, if that's something that you're interested in. I have done that in the past. It's not something that I do frequently though. I recently made this dress, I think last summer, and I made just the regular longer dress, but I added a ruffle to the bottom, just like a tier, just for something different. I wore this dress all summer long. I made it in this beautiful Stoff cotton jersey knit. They have this fabric. They did not, when I made this dress, have the fabric at University of Sewing, but now they do, if this is something that you would like to recreate for yourself. And I've got a code for Tomcat, gets you 15% off University of Sewing. They've got some beautiful Stoff knits, stuff in my color palette, but also in a ton of different other color palettes as well. I love Stoff knit. It is one of my favorite knit fabrics, the designer Stoff. So anyway, absolutely so comfortable. I wore this to quite a few different outdoor concert venues that we went to last summer. Perfect for the warm weather. Number 6, the Cadence top and dress. This is probably my go-to shift dress pattern. I love a good shift dress on me, something that doesn't have a waist seam again, like I mentioned, because I have a very high waist. So proportionately, when things hit at my natural waist, it makes me look even shorter torsoed than I am. because it accentuates that. So I love a good dress that doesn't have a waist seam. I know not everyone's that way, but the Cadence also has options for putting an elastic at the waist as well, if that is something that you enjoy doing. I personally like a good shift dress, and so I don't put that in there. I've made this a couple of times. It's just real easy. There's no fastenings on it. It just pulls over your head. It's a woven dress. I've made it in a cotton lawn as well as linen. I'm showing you the linen version here. I wear them all the time during the summer. It's like the alternative to like a t-shirt and jeans the cold months, except it's just a woven t-shirt. You just throw it on, it's really comfortable, and you're ready to go. Slip on some sandals, and then you also look really nice because you're in a dress. You know, people are always like, oh, you look nice, even though you've literally just thrown a t-shirt on over your head. I love that about a good shift dress. Number 7, the Olympia dress. I love this pattern because the neckline on it, number one, is really fun to sew, but it's also just really interesting. It's kind of a shawl neckline. I've made this for cold weather months before. It's got a sleeve to it, but this is my go-to for summer. I wore this all summer long. This is a fabric from Sew Boutique that they dyed. So it is 100% cotton jersey, so it doesn't have the recovery that a cotton spandex jersey has, but I had no issues at all getting it on and off. It's very comfortable to wear. I don't get any bagging out or anything on it. I did finish off the arm edges with a contrasting fabric because it did need to stretch in order to fit. The bands needed to stretch to fit into there. So I used a navy from my stash to finish that off, but I think it adds a nice little pop. And again, I wore this dress all summer long, and it's that neckline. That neckline is just really interesting, and I think flattering on a lot of different body types. Number 8. This might be one of my top favorite of dress patterns at Love Notions, period, but it's the Tidal top and dress. I love this pattern. It is very similar to the Spellbound, the Pattern Emporium Spellbound or Pattern Emporium Wonderlust, except, and I get people ask me questions on this a lot, the Tidal does have a princess seam that comes down the front. So it's a really interesting construction. You have the center front piece, and then you have 2 back pieces that wrap around to the front and attach into that front princess seam, so there's no side seams. But there is a center back seam as well that helps with some shaping. I love this again because there's no horizontal waist seam on this pattern, so I can get the illusion of a waist, and then it's got kind of an A-line skirt on it. I can get the illusion of the waist without, and it makes me look a little bit more proportion, without actually having to have something cinching in at the waist. My yellow one that I'm showing you here, I wear all the time. Again, just as easy as throwing on a t-shirt. I think it's the color of this because it really is just a t-shirt dress, but I get comments on this every single time I wear it because it's an unusual color, but it's one of my colors, and people comment on every single time I wear it about, oh my gosh, I love your dress, which I don't think it's the dress. I think it's the color of the dress on me. I think the style is very flattering, but I think it is the color. I find that fascinating. But I wear this all the time in the summer, and I've got a maxi one as well that I wear a ton. It's great for layering, wearing as is. Different sleeve options you can make, again, depending on the weather. It can be sleeveless, which my maxi is, or even tank, where it cuts in a little bit more. It's so easy to make. So easy to make. This one is great for cotton. I like it with cotton spandex jerseys again, because you want it to hold that shape of that skirt, or pontes. The 2 that are in my closet right now are both in pontes. So it's a really great pattern for that. Number 9, the Salt Whistle top and dress. I feel like this one gets lost a little bit. Like I don't see as many of these, and it is such a sweet pattern. Beautiful square neckline on that. You can make it with or without the really cute scallop hem at the bottom, and it can be tiered. It can be a cute little tiered dress. The scallops are not as hard to sew as you might think. It does have the cinching in at the waist, so if that's something that you enjoy, this dress is absolutely perfect for you. It's sleeveless. It can, I've seen quite a few, actually, of the Love Notions ambassadors mix and match this pattern with, mash it with other patterns. So it's that neckline is just really, really beautiful. But I think you can make it with or without the scalloped hem. But I think the scalloped hem is a really, really sweet detail. And again, not nearly as hard to sew as you might think. But if you wanted just a straight hem, you could absolutely do that as well. Again, tiered, you can just do the straight skirt. Really easy to wear, and something a little bit beyond, a little bit different than what you might be seeing in other summer dresses. All right, and number 10 is the Arya button down. I'm wearing the Arya today. I love this shirt, this pattern. I have a couple of shirts, but it also has an option for a shirt dress. is there anything easier to wear in the summer than a shirt dress? No, it looks lovely. You could do a short sleeve on it if you don't want to do the full sleeves. Although I love in the summer, especially when it gets midsummer, even though it might be really hot, to have some options with sleeves in case I've been out in the sun too much and I want a little bit of that coverage. I love the Arya because you can roll. You can roll that sleeve up and be good to go. You make it up in a linen or a viscose. My version is a viscose challis or a rayon challis, and but I've made this pattern in linens as well, and it makes up beautiful in that. Really comfortable to wear. And you just look real sharp and put together. So if classic is kind of one of the aesthetic that you're drawn to, this is a fantastic pattern. And they've got a class that goes along with this one as well. And all of that is on sale during the sale. It's all the 45% off. So, if you wanted a little bit of extra on that, you've got that. All right, guys. Those are my 10 summer dresses that I reach for again in my closet and would be perfect if you were starting to do some summer sewing yourself and also enjoy wearing dresses in the summer. As a reminder, the Love Notion sale is happening. Started yesterday. It goes through Friday, end of day Friday, and my code TK Stitchery 45 gets you, TK Stitchery 10. TK Stitchery 10 gets you 45% off during sale week here this week. So make sure you use the code in order to get that extra 5% off from the regular sale. All right, guys, that is all I have for today. I hope you've enjoyed this one. I hope you give some of these patterns a try. And I will be back on Friday with a pattern release, and it's a good one, and I can't wait to, and this probably would make this list. So it's a good one, and I can't wait to share more with you on Friday. I hope you're having a wonderful week. Get some sewing in, and I'll see you guys again next time. Bye.